Hi, I'm David, back with Magic ManaStrike. So the draft event just ended, and we've made it to the weekend, and this weekend's event is a sealed event, where you pick a Planeswalker and receive a bunch of random cards, and you have to make a deck from it and see how far you can go. So, let's use our free admission. Okay, Ajani, Gideon, Chandra, Dovin, Nahiri. I am considering Ajani and Dovin. I haven't ever played with Gideon and haven't seen him much on ladder, so he's probably not the best Planeswalker. Chandra and Nahiri are both powerful cards, but I've been playing a lot of red with Koth, actually. Go ahead and check out my recent Koth deck videos. But also, I'm not too familiar with all the red cards. I have been very carefully learning the cards that fit in the current deck that I'm playing. Whereas I do know some of the white cards, and specifically because I played Dovin for the first few weeks of this game, I know how to play with Dovin and how to use blue and white cards in concert. Well, the color of cards doesn't matter, because sealed is going to give me a bunch of random ones. So it's really about the Planeswalker, and what Ajani's power does is reduces the damage taken by allies around him, but what Dovin's does is it reduces their attack speed and attack. So I think I'm going with Dovin. Oh, I see. I don't have to choose. So draft has kind of warped how I see these deck building events. I don't have to choose right now, and I get these 5 Planeswalkers for all my games, and I can switch between games. So let's actually, I didn't realize that we had the ability to inspect. Okay, so when she gets 2 damaged, she gets... So that's the shield that I've seen around her in ladder decks. Becomes indestructible. Okay, so let's look at the cards that we have and build a tentative deck and see what Planeswalker fits in best with those. So the power cards that I'm seeing, people have been liking this Sylvan Advocate. Steadily inflicts more damage the longer it attacks. Sylvan Dragon is a good one, so is Swashbuckler. Goblin Artillery is okay. Circle of Pain I will probably be using, given that I don't have to play a Black Planeswalker to use it, so let's put that in the deck. It's one of the stronger AoE cards. Oops. Soul of Theros is pretty good, but only if he fits in the deck. He grants indestructible to nearby allies, so we would want a swarm type deck if we're playing Soul of Theros, which this Knight of New Benalia helps with that. She summons archers. Core Entangler I think is always good, so I'll use him. Blinding Mage, I think I either play Blinding Mage or Swashbuckler. Blinding Mage costs 3, and he does attack very fast, but the Swashbuckler, if you use him correctly, his piercing arrow will go through multiple units. So I think I'm going to use the Swashbuckler over the Blinding Mage. I'll use the Sylvan Advocate as well, because he's ranged. So I now have 2 strong ranged units, which means I want some tank units that can absorb damage while those units do their thing. So Aethersquall Ancient is one. Turns nearby flying allies ethereal, and they can't be targeted. So I don't right now have anyone who flies. I could consider a flying package of the Icefall Dragon and the Sylvan Dragon. that would make it pretty expensive. A 4, a 6, and a 7 are pretty expensive. Train Elemental is okay, but at 5, he's a little expensive for what he does. I think I'll put in a Fire Shrine Keeper. I think that Fire Shrine Keeper and Corn Tangler are two of the best 2-drops in the game, and being only costed 2, you can place them very easily whenever you want in the game. So I'm still looking for my tank unit. Right now I think it's between the Sylvan Dragon and the Aetherscroll Ancient. So the Sylvan Dragon, it can AoE attack enemy air and ground units, which is important, of course, but what that means is that at least it's a melee attack, but he will stop moving. Whereas with the Aetherscroll Ancient, since it only attacks buildings, it will continue to fly down the battlefield, and new units placed will be attacking the Aetherscroll Ancient, while my ranged units can defend. Now, another good tank is he's not a great tank, but the Soul of Theros. So what I'm thinking is put Soul of Theros and Aetherscroll Ancient, so that the ideal lineup is going to be Aetherscroll Ancient in front, right behind it Soul of Theros, and behind Soul of Theros my ranged units, so that anyone who isn't attacking the Aetherscroll Ancient will be attacking the Soul of Theros, and then when he dies, he gives indestructible. Well, that's not really important with my ranged units because they won't be melee attacking. So the Bloodline Keeper, air unit with ranged attacks. I am interested in taking advantage of Aetherscroll Ancient's air unit buff, but it doesn't seem incredibly important because even the Bloodline Keeper costs 5, and I guess I would replace it with the Soul of Theros. But since Bloodline Keeper's part of his ability is that he transforms into Lord of Lineage during ManaStrike, we would be waiting for ManaStrike to make our move, our big move to win the game. Whereas, okay, I can see that. Using Circle of Pain and Corn Tangler and the Keeper of the Fire Shrine to control the entire early and mid game, and then Bloodline Keeper all over Soul of Theros, because Soul of Theros works best with what I would call weenies, so a bunch of low health units, because if they're all indestructible, they can hack away at the enemies while not taking any damage. Clockwork Beetle is always good, but because in Sealed all units are only level 1, I think the Clockwork Beetles would die too easily. So I have one AoE unit and one AoE spell. But other than that, every single card up here is single target. I don't have any swarm type cards. So that could be a problem if he puts out, if my enemies have things like Beloth or Aetherscroll Ancient, big units that just walk across the field and don't stop, which is what I'm trying to do with my deck, right? Put out one big unit, let it march across the field and have support behind it. Right now, I won't be very good against those types of decks without some kind of group unit like the Clockwork Beetle. The other option, realistically, I mean, Barracks is an option, but realistically it would be Knight of Nubenalia. I think I would pick the Beetles over the Knight of Nubenalia because they cost less. I mean, 3.7 is a little high for average mana cost if you look up here. Let's try this out and see how it goes. I guess the unit I'm least confident about right now is the Sylvan Advocate. So given that we want to support my tank as it walks down the field, and I have units that can attack flyers, it's not a Johnny. Let's see what Gideon does. After moving, he will jump to AoE damage and push, but his actual attack is single target. His basic attack. Oh, his basic attack is AoE. Okay. It's melee AoE. I already have the Fire Shrine Keeper. I think I'm going to go with Dovin because he summons the Ornithopters. So when I need to swarm a unit like a Baloth or something, the Ornithopters should be key to that. Okay. So now that I've made my deck, we go back to the sealed screen and battle. Okay, I don't know how long this video has been so far, but I spent quite a lot of time specifically designing my deck, given the randomized sealed cards that I was given. Okay, we're playing a Tezzeret. Now, Tezzeret is a pretty strong Planeswalker on his own. Okay, I'm going to Circle of Pain, and let's Core-Entangler. Well, so Circle of Pain and Core-Entangler doesn't make much sense, but I don't think I should have used the AoE unit there. It was just the cheapest. Oh, but he took out that ninja. So I'm trying to be responsive. I'll use the Swashbuckler to try to take out the Core-Entangler, and hopefully... Ooh! So the piercing arrow is not fired at the unit where it is right now, but where it was. Okay, so I need to kill that Hell Rider as quickly as possible each time, which is why I've been placing the Circle of Pain, but what I should be placing is Dovin. So I'll use Bloodline Keeper here. I'll use Fire Shrine Keeper to try to distract the units that he's placing. And reduce his Tezzeret attack. Swashbuckler to try to take out these guys, but that Haunted Guardian is going to wreck my Swashbuckler. Alright, I'll use Circle of Pain because those guys have to walk across it. Let's pull... I was hoping for the other unit that's closer to my tower. Wow. Okay, I'm really taking it right now. And I haven't even played Ethersquall Ancient. Alright, I need to use my Dovins better. I have been way too conservative with these pushes. Okay. I've done more damage to the top tower, but I'm going to surprise make a push on the bottom tower. Ethersquall Ancient, Sylvan Advocate. Let's make sure we kill Tezzeret there. Slow down his attacks. Okay, oh, we got one tower, but we need both towers. So I'm just sending in the units that I can. Put Dovin up top. Swashbuckler, because he's ranged. Slow down these guys. Do I have time for this? I don't know. No, he distracted my units with that Walking Ballista. I think I could have had the tower if he hadn't distracted me, but of course that's... Oh, no, No, I was wrong. I didn't lose my main guardian. Okay. I still think that my deck principle is good. I just executed it very poorly that game. I was being way too conservative. I was waiting to try to enact that strategy that I talked about, when in reality, I should just play the game as normal and use the Other Squall Ancient if it comes, like if I find myself in a position to be able to. Okay, learned last time we're not going to let the Hellrider do too much. Let's Circle of Pain this. As the Walking Ballista goes through, I'll place my Other Squall Ancient. Get Dovin down, or get Dovin's Planeswalker ability, I should say, to lower the attack of the enemies around the tower. So that Other Squall Ancient is still alive and mostly took down the tower by himself. So I need to play something to get my Circle of Pain, and Circle of Pain should take out the Blinding Mage that he has, but also deal damage to everything else. I was hoping for the Garruk, but the Haunted Guardian seems fine. So Garruk's Beasts got to my tower. Things aren't looking great, but they're even. Ooh, that Spinning Demon is gonna really kill all my units there. Oh, okay, it did. Alright, let's place another Squall Ancient, and we get Circle of Pain back. I think I'll save for it. Ah, no, it's not worth it now. So luckily I didn't commit too hard to the push that was going on in the top row. And now I have a ton of mana to deal with whatever he's about to do. He'll probably place a Garruk to try to take out the top tower when ManaStrike hits. So we're in ManaStrike. That makes Lord of the Legion transform. Get down the Circle of Pain to eliminate the Blinding Mage. Dovin's not dead, but he's not doing too hot either. Okay, let's get down a second Bloodline Keeper right by his tower. And make sure to not lose the main Guardian from that Hellrider. But I pretty much have the game sealed at this point. It's Corentangle. Well, I meant to hit the Hellrider there, but the Hellrider died before Corentangler was even summoned, so I have 3 more Dovins because I took down both of the Sub-Guardians very recently, but he just couldn't respond to the push that was happening in the lower lane. And that push happened because I was efficient with my resources in the upper lane. And I didn't commit too hard to the initial push towards the main Guardian. So then I had mana when he didn't. Of course, mana translates directly to creatures. Okay, we're playing an Ajani. So the Ajani Planeswalker is going to be pretty tough to defeat because he's an AoE Planeswalker. Let's Circle of Pain that Hornet's Nest. Damage both the tower and damage both the Sub-Guardian and the other building at the same time. I'm going to try to kill the Soul of Theros with ranged units. Okay, now Fire Shrine Keeper to AoE damage Ajani and the Walking Ballista. So Fire Shrine Keeper also, when he takes damage after a while, he puts out a burst. I meant to get the Other Squall Ancient to the top Sub-Guardian, but I missed, so he's going towards the bottom Sub-Guardian. I don't know if Ajani can attack flying units, but Soul of Theros sure can. Alright, the Other Squall Ancient is doing major work on the Sub-Guardian. It takes a lot to kill the Other Squall Ancient. Okay, I also placed the Swashbuckler at the main, or at the top Sub-Guardian because I was reaching all 10 mana. He's not really giving me that much to do right now. So I'm just trying to defend and take as little damage as possible. I'm like, for example, I'm saving the Circle of Pain because it's going to be more important at a later time. I'll place the Fire Shrine Keeper in the back. Place the Swashbuckler such that in the future I hope that his arrows will hit multiple units. I had to predict where they would walk and where he would walk, but I'm pretty sure it worked. I'm pretty sure that arrow hit both Ajani and the Soul of Theros. So he drafted a Sphinx of the Final Word. If you watch my Dovin videos, I main deck that one. So I'm going to Circle of Pain here and slow down their attack so that Ajani takes damage as he comes through. Other Squall Ancient is being responded to, but because of that, I now have pretty good access to the top row because he spent mana on dealing with the bottom row. I'm going to Circle of Pain this again, get down my other last Dovin. We'll call it last Dovin because I think the game's going to go into sudden death. Slow down the Soul of Theros with Dovin's Planeswalker ability, and let's put Bloodline Keeper on the bottom. I don't think he can handle both a Bloodline Keeper and an Other Squall Ancient, even though that is the tower with more HP left. Okay, and that's what I was talking about. So the, I guess he's called Lord of the Legion or something in ManaStrike. But the Bloodline Keeper and the Other Squall Ancient just took down that bottom tower with 1,000+ health. I don't think there's much to say about that game. I made sure to not overcommit to anything and get in damage on both towers throughout the game. And then put offensive resources in a lane where he did not have where he had not invested his defensive resources. Circle of Pain is also being extremely clutch, which it always is. I mean, it's a very, very powerful card. Okay, so I'm placing Other Squall Ancient. I'm preemptively placing Dovin for when the Geralf's Messenger comes back up. And the Circle of Pain should kill the Walking Ballista and damage the tower a little bit. So he plays Chandra in response. Chandra probably beats Dovin because her fire does some minimally AoE things. And so, I mean, my point is they'll kill his Ornithopters. Okay, so hopefully these guys can respond to the Geralf's Messenger before it does too much to the tower. I'll Circle of Pain that, make sure it hits both buildings. I think my Sub-Guardian can take care of those guys. So he Reaver Demon for 4? Okay, that's pretty good. I'm not really sure how I'm going to deal with that. I'll start with the Buccaneer. Let's Core Entangle the Chandra. Nope, we got the Walking Ballista, okay, but I now have 2 ranged units on the battlefield, and the Reaver Demon's dead, but my tower has taken a lot, and I have not dealt too much to his towers. So I'm going to place the Other Squall Ancient. He placed the Carrion Crows in the bottom lane. I'm going to slow down Chandra and try to get this Bloodline Keeper deep into the battlefield. Okay, Keeper the Fire Shrine defensively. He puts down another Chandra. I'll Circle of Pain that to try to keep the damage onto his tower and Chandra while she's there. So I have his first tower. Since Bloodline Keeper attacks faster and is stronger in ManaStrike, I'm trying to use him as much as possible. I'm not playing my 2-cost units because I have to use my higher cost ranged units for the Reaver Demon. And Dovin just comes out again because Dovin does have the Ornithopters which can attack in the sky. Whoa, that overrun, which he hasn't played all game, almost took out my tower. And the Drawless Messenger did take out my tower. So he gets another Planeswalker. He's in the stronger position here, to be fully honest, because he has a Planeswalker and I've used all mine. I didn't expect the game to go on, so I should have ensured more closely that I didn't lose my tower. As it stands right now, I think the only way I win is to use Bloodline Keeper because of how strong he is and get cycles back through so that I can repeatedly Circle of Pain the tower. Hopefully Reaver Demon gets hit by the Circle of Pain, but now I have 2 Bloodline Keepers on the battlefield because I placed the first one in the back. So I think that this should be pretty strong. Wow, we might tie. He might have been defensive enough that we tie. Okay, so within sudden death, they don't extend it more than 1 minute. So this game just ends in a draw. Now, I definitely could have won that game, but I was a little too arrogant. I figured if he happened to take out my top Sub-Guardian, I could take out his bottom Sub-Guardian, but he effectively, very effectively, in fact, defended against me taking his bottom Sub-Guardian. So, very well matched play that game. Okay, with these units, I just respond to whatever he plays first. Okay, so I'm going to Circle of Pain there so that these units have to walk through the Circle of Pain. Don't know what he's going to play next. I think I'll Ether Squall Ancient the top row and then be ready to deal with a strong unit against his ninja. And an AoE unit against these archers should just take him out. He has a Blinding Mage and a Freeze to stop the other Squall Ancient, so, I mean, that's fair. I'm using the Circle of Pain again to slow down and damage Garruk, who will, I guess, continually send out these wolves. Shoot, I had not chosen how to respond to the ninja, and now I'm being wrecked by the ninja. Wow, I wanted the Core Entangler to deal with the Blinding Mage, but he didn't. Oh, this is pretty rough. And I've dealt very, very little damage to the tower. I don't know if he's played 1 or 2 Garruks. I really hope it's 2. If he has 2 left, I'm in some trouble. Alright, I'm going to drop another Squall Ancient in the back and start this push. So he also has drafted another Squall Ancient. But he's chosen to respond to me, so let's get the Bloodline Keeper down. It's going to get stronger in ManaStrike and hopefully take out that Ether Squall Ancient. But the Ether Squall Ancient has my tower. My tower's going to go. Yikes. Okay, I'm still undecided which tower I'm going to attack, but it looks like the bottom. I just have to also defend. Well, so the top tower's gone. Like, there's no way I could have saved that one. So oh my gosh, why is the bottom tower not being damaged? Okay, I need to get Circle of Pain back. 1, 2, oh, come on, mana, load faster. Wow. I thought that I had already won the bottom tower, and I didn't realize that it was still up. Oof. Yeah, okay. I don't think the other Squirrel Ancient is working for me. So I'm going to make Soul of Theros my tank unit instead. I have not found a good... I have not found good times, plural, to play the other Squirrel Ancient. And at least Soul of Theros can attack the units that are attacking him. Whereas even though Other Squirrel Ancient is very good at killing the towers, rarely do I play multiple of it in a game. So Soul of Theros is similarly slow marching, but Soul of Theros can also damage air units, which I didn't think I was going to have a problem with, but my archers are turning out to be kind of weak against air units. Wow, this Dross Messenger does quite a bit of damage to a tower. I'll play the Soul of Theros. I'm waiting for it to get up, but boy does it take a long time to stand back up. Alright, so Circle of Pain should hit both the catapult and the tower this way. He does Reaver Demon. I'll put a Dovin in behind the Soul of Theros. That allows me to place some units a little bit into his territory. Not enough, apparently. So I need to slow them down with Dovin's Planeswalker ability, but they have my tower already. So he has probably been saving his mana such that he has a bunch of it right now. Yeah, so there's Chandra. Not that she cost anything. Wow. The overrun there. Yeah, I think I lose this one too. Definitely can't let him start to place units in my territory, which he already has. Alright, let's Circle of Pain the Chariot and the bottom tower. Hopefully the Piercing Arrow goes through both. It didn't hit the Messenger, so that's too bad. Alright. And then I want a Bloodline Keeper inside his territory and also the AoE unit, so hopefully Chandra attacks that. Let's get the Messenger away from my tower. Circle of Pain the tower with the Planeswalker. Okay, so we did actually take down a tower. So Soul of Theros here, slow down all of their attacks, overrun it so I have to wait to play my next unit until overrun's gone, distract them with AoE, play the next Dovin, hopefully hook someone important away from the tower. Not going to play his hero ability yet, turns out I don't need to. Not hero ability, Planeswalker ability. Alright. That overrun's going to take out my tower. There's nothing I can do about that. So he was able to use Chandra and overrun and, of course, units, but specifically those two to direct damage my towers throughout the game. So I did quite poorly. 2-3. is not great. And even when I did substitute in the Soul of Theros for the Elderscroll Ancient, it still didn't win me the one game that I played with that list. So it happens. I do like the sealed format because every card is 1 mana. But this maybe reveals to me that I'm not as good of a player as I think, but more specifically, I'm not very good of a deck builder, and I know that. I can sometimes make tweaks to decks with cards that I feel aren't working, but in terms of deck building in general, I'm not too great at it. So I will not be re-entering because it costs gems, but hopefully you were able to play the sealed event with your free admission ticket, because it was fun for me to try to build a deck, and I did win twice with it, so at least that's something. Thanks for watching, and please consider subscribing to my channel.